ね。そりゃ私だって何年もずっと一緒だし、もしかして私のことって思う時もあったよ。でもしんちゃん覚えてる？しんちゃんの彼女が本当はエマのこと好きなんでしょって言った時に、しんちゃんは
エマだけは死んでも好きにならない。死んでも言わないつもりだったから。
My friends, one thing I'm always thinking about after I get done watching A Sign of Affection is, why am I so drawn to this anime? Obviously, the obvious points are there, right? Amazing writing, great cast, great conveyance of emotion, kind of grounded in semi-realism in certain cases. Really depicts the troubles and the real way that kind of, love tends to work and things like that. Those are the obvious ones. But then when I think about it like on a deeper level, it's like, well, why is this one so special? And why is this one that this is definitely on my list of ones that I want to rewatch completely when it gets dubbed with my wife, because I think that she'll love it as well too. And I think after watching episode number 11, I think I finally figured out what's the main reason, why do I really love this anime quite a bit. And I think that reason is, it really isn't, it's gonna sound really stupid, it's gonna sound dumb, but it really is, it's love. And I think I've said it before, I can't remember which episode, but I have said, hey, love is this, love is that, love is blind, love is deaf, but really it's one of those things where it's love is beautiful, and love is it's hard, and love is tragic, and love hurts, and love feels good. And there's so many different emotions with love. Love is, exciting. Love is boring. There's so many different things with it. And I think that's what draws me to this anime so much, is going through that roller coaster of love emotions along with Yuki, and really with 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥 as well too, because this is the first time that 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧's fallen in love, and we get to see from his angle on what that means and stuff like that. And from his angle, it's one of the things to where he's always been wanted and has always been chased. But he brought it up perfectly, is when you know, And I think it was last episode, maybe the one before it, when he was talking to 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥, and he was like, whether it was now, later, or years from now, the universe would have brought me to Yuki. And, when you meet that person, that really is, the case. And it's a beautiful thing. And in 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐽's eyes, and in Ishiki, whatever 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧's friend's name is, the one who's in love with Emma, in both of those cases, it's love can be a little bit tragic too, and sometimes can be one-sided, but you have to kind of believe wholeheartedly that everything happens, for a reason. And sometimes, I will admit, in certain cases, it's the love of your life you let get away. And, in 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧's kind of, side is, since bro was 8, 9, 10 years old, whatever he was, he's had nothing but time and chances to really, be forward and upfront with his feelings and stuff. And now bro's in college, 20, 19, 20, 21 years old, probably 19 or 20. I think 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧 had told us that Yuki's 19. So he's probably 19, maybe 20 at the oldest as well too. So he's had the last decade to really kind of muster up the courage and kind of be forthright with his feelings. But I'll understand that, hey, as a kid, especially as you're going through puberty, maybe even those awkward teenage years, maybe he hasn't really had the same chances he has the last 3 or 4 years. But I would still say that there was still enough time in that bubble for him to kind of get over the weirdo phase that you go through in your teen years. Not everybody, but a lot do. And it's one of those things to where it's eventually you let so much time and so much opportunities come by, it's that next person could, swoop in and take everything that you've wanted. From Emma and 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧's friend, I think his name's maybe 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥, or whatever, Shiki, whatever the hairstylist guy's name is. It's his is the same situation. It's because Emma was so upfront about her feelings about 𝐒𝐴𝐚, you know, he kind of felt like he had to go on the defensive, and he felt like he had to take a different path and say like, I would never, like, Emma, ugh, you know, Emma, ugh, even though that's the polar opposite of his feelings. You know, obviously, again, in those teenage years, in those rebellious years, in those things to where like your brain just isn't quite there yet, you know, he decided to take a path, and as he got older, he just kind of had to stick with the path that he chose. And obviously now he's trying to undo it. And he told Emma, he's like, basically, I was a big liar. And she's like, what the hell, you know? And hopefully that sparks something there. But going back, you know, a few minutes, it's like, you know, love is awesome, and it hurts, and it feels good, and it's exciting, and it's boring, and it's eventful, and it's uneventful. And it could be all these things for different people. But ultimately, it's like, this is definitely one of those anime about finding your true love, and, you know, when you know, you know. And for me on a personal level, it's like I went through a lot of, in my life, you know, I went through a lot of wrong ones, and then I met the right one. And it's true of when you know, because everything just kind of like, you know, just clicks in place and fits right instantaneously. And I love being able to see that between Yuki and between 𝐒𝐴𝐚, is he matters so much to her that she's willing to go through and put herself in a position that she's never had to before, living and being in that bubble of uncomfortableness, because she's never had to experience it before. She's never had anything worth experiencing it before to that level, to that extent. And on 𝐒𝐴𝐚's case, is he loves her so much that he's willing to, you know, tread waters that he hasn't before, you know, learn sign, learn how to adapt around her, because that's how much she matters, is, you know, really, you know, kind of molding yourself around this person. I think that's just so cool. And episode 40 or 43, episode 11, I just watched Pokemon Horizon, so I was caught up on that. But episode 11, you know, Promise is really cool. And then on top of that, she found a job, and she found a job based on her friend's aunt. And her friend is the one who went deaf later in life. So, you know, she has a lot of understanding from her family, and her aunt specifically, is really appreciative of her friends from that school because it changed her life. And she got a job at this really cool cafe. And at the end of the episode, you know, she's reminded by 𝐒𝐴𝐚 of like, you know, I'm excited to travel with you and everything else, but don't give up so much of your time that it takes away from our time trying to work towards your goal. Let's find a balance there. And I really like that reminder of, you know, him to her is like, I'm so excited to travel with you and I can't wait, but I'm patient enough to wait for it to happen over time, not for you to dedicate and give up all your time that could potentially be with me now to be with me later. And I think that that's really a cool thing. And it was a really cool, gentle and realistic reminder for them of like, yeah, it's going to be really cool when we get to travel to Germany or Cambodia or, you know, whatever other random country they go to. That's going to be a really awesome experience. But don't sacrifice our experience today for tomorrow. So I think that's a really important thing too. Also, last thing I'll say, because I'm about to let you guys go, is I love I like how 𝐒𝐡𝐚 put himself out there with her as well too, and I like how she was able to kind of start seeing on like what's going on with this guy and why is he acting this way, and he stopped her from signing, and she's thinking about like, you know, what happened before in the past. He's thinking about what happened before in the past. So it was just really, really cool to see her beginning to catch on, because you have these two characters who are dense in their own ways. And I like how that's happening. So hopefully she, you know, I don't know if we'll get to see it because we only have one episode left, but I would hope at some point, hopefully maybe we get season 2. Hopefully she's able to kind of push past that barrier and really find out like, and have him admit that he's in love with her. And maybe she can be a catalyst or help him like as a friend kind of push back that. And hopefully he can be pushed towards the other girl who would treat him like a king, which just seems that way. So Anyways, awesome episode. Love this show. I'll see you guys next week. And hopefully all those who are still looking for it in the love department, hopefully you find it. All right, my friends. See you next week for the last episode. Oh my God, it's the last episode. Peace out.